Never miss your favorite live radio show again. Today on Call for Help.
I hope these people can help me with my computer. A technician will be with you in 4 hours.
4 hours?
You can upgrade for just $5,000.
What?
The Universal Serial Config board should be set to ID6.
I need that in plain English. Help!
Leo Laporte at Call for Help. May I help you?
Hi, welcome. Good to see you. Call for help time. Get in here. Get in here. We're going to talk about getting technology working for you. I'm Leo Laporte, and a wonderful show planned for you. But before we go any farther, I have to commend Amber MacArthur. You see, all we needed was a woman's touch here.
Aww.
Look at this. She's already decorating. Look at that.
Decorating.
Or maybe you did it, Andy. I shouldn't assume that Amber did it all.
Andy was advising.
I like it. It's really nice.
Good.
Yeah.
I tripped over the painter, actually. That's my 100%.
Is that your Amber MacArthur, Andy Walker, and we are here today to help you get the most out of personal technology. We're going to have some fun doing it too.
Yeah.
Like your flowers today. Very sunny for a wintry day.
I had to perk myself up because it's starting to get a little cool.
Yeah.
It's really foggy. Do you get fog off the lake a lot? Is that unusual?
It's sort of unusual this time of year,
really
absolutely.
foggy, yeah.
It reminds me of San Francisco, though.
It is kind of. That's exactly what it reminded me of.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Sort of, it's like San Francisco in the summer. It's cold, it's foggy.
Yeah,
San Francisco
exactly.
in August.
Toronto in winter is like San Francisco in summer. So what do you got today for us, Andy?
Today, we're going to review optimizing Windows XP. I mean,
Cool.
I think it's something that everybody needs to do on a regular basis. We talk about it in various bits and pieces, but today I'm bringing it all together.
Make it faster, make it more efficient.
Faster, more efficient, cleaner, happier, less crashable. It does.
Less crashable, wow.
Well,
like
sort of, kind of, yes.
It kind of needs it, yeah. And what are you going to be up to?
Today I'm actually going to show a site called Today's Parent, which is a great opportunity for parents to go online and find other parents and ask them questions about if their kid is sleeping well. Also, there's a virtual garage sale that you can go and you can exchange items and things like that.
I like that. My wife would spend a lot of time.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Cool. All right, some fun stuff ahead on the show for you today. We're going to have a lot of fun. Also, we'll talk about a digital radio recorder with a guy who kind of caused a stir. He's got XM all up in arms with his software. He's going to show you how to do it and how he did it with Visual Basic. So if you're interested at all in writing your own software, this might be interesting too. Let's get to our first call of the day, though. What do you say?
All right, our first caller of the day is Hector from Phoenix, Arizona.
Hector! Let's say hello to Hector. We're going to take the walk. Hey, where'd Basil go? Oh! Stavos Denko! Zdravo! Not Zdravstvuyte, Zdravo! I got to get that right. Zdenko, ladies and gentlemen. Zdenko. There's no Z in Zdenko or something. It's good to see you. Welcome to the show, Hector. How are you?
Pretty good, Leo. How you doing?
It's great to talk to you. How are things in Phoenix today?
Not bad, not bad.
Not hot, no.
No.
Cools off a little bit in the winter. Down to 95, what would that be? 30, 40 degrees?
Yeah.
What can I do for you today?
I was just wondering, there's a couple of products that are offered out there right now that cool your laptop.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering if those work or if they're worth it.
They do work. Andy, no, I guess it's Mikey. Mikey has one. Wait a minute, let me see if I can find it here. Here it is. He brought this in for us. We've showed this before on the show. This is, he got this on eBay, but a number of companies, Kensington and others, are doing this now. It's a fan. You got it there? It's a fan. Actually, 3 fans that sit under the laptop. There's an exhaust port here, and it's powered by the USB port. Now, I got to tell you, Hector, the way they design laptops nowadays are probably going to not necessary, right? I mean, they do run hotter with these new fast chips, but and they may be more uncomfortable to you. But the way they design them, they're not going to require any additional cooling. In fact, many times laptops have fans built into them nowadays, and people complain about the noise. But if you, as Mikey does, if you compute in bed and you put your laptop on blankets, this would be a good idea because it would then give some clearance to the laptop and some cooling. Yeah. If you notice your laptop has feet on it, they do want some air underneath it. That's kind of important. So if you're going to put it on stuff that's going to block that air underneath or it's going to insulate it, this might be a good idea, yeah.
You could use a Stephen King novel, too.
Is that what you use?
Well, yeah, you just get a big fat book, stick it in the back end. At least if you're increasing like air clearance underneath there, you're going to get a lot of cool air, and it's going to run cooler. So
and it'll be a little scary for the laptop. Let me show you, Mikey. Oh, now is it in Firefox that the bookmarks are? Let me go show you. Mikey has bookmarked where he got this. He bought this on eBay for like no money at all. Some of the bigger companies now sell these things. for, $10, $15, $20, but he paid like $7 for his. Here it is. How much did you pay for yours, Mike?
$9 Canadian.
$9.99. Here it is. And it works okay, right? Didn't break?
It works great. It keeps my laptop nice and cool.
Yeah, you could buy it now for $9.99, or you can make a bid on it. I imagine this is the one you bought, actually. It looks exactly the same. Some Taiwanese companies making these in quantity, obviously, and people are buying and selling them on eBay. So, I mean, for $9, yeah. Do you compute in bed a lot, Hector? Or what?
No, I was just wondering. I've heard that they could increase performance. I don't really need it, but maybe if I got a more high-performance laptop down the road.
It won't increase performance.
Okay.
The laptop won't run any faster, but it might. It might increase the length, the life expectancy of some of the components inside. Heat isn't good in general for these things. But like I say, they're designed to be as hot as they are. And with these new 2 and 3 gigahertz chips, they're going to be pretty hot. Do you have a Pentium M, or do you have what kind of processors?
I actually have an AMD XP M.
Yeah. They're designed to run cooler than the desktops. So these are good if there was a physician, or no, I guess it was in the Lancet in England. Physician or somebody was suing because he burnt his lap, parts of his lap, from using his laptop too long in his lap. I don't think that's a legit lawsuit, but anyway, if it's feeling hot to you, this helps. Do you notice it cooler, Mikey?
Definitely.
Mikey says it's cooler.
The RAM slot, the DIMM slots underneath, it gets really hot on my particular model.
The RAM does.
The RAM does, and you can feel it on the bottom of the case. And I notice a tremendous difference running that. In terms of just, it seems, I don't know, it may not actually respond better, but it seems like the RAM, I don't know.
Seems like it's faster.
It seems like
seems faster.
It seems faster.
My car seems to run better after I take it to the car wash. I don't know if you've noticed that, doesn't it?
Less friction.
Less friction. So I don't think it'll actually make it run faster. But yeah, it could improve the lifespan. And more importantly, you'll be more comfortable. Okay, Hector?
All right, thanks. Can't wait to see you down here in the States.
We're working on it. I think we're getting close.
Awesome.
Keep watching. Thanks. Watch my webpage or callforhelptv.com. Well, believe me, it'll be a big announcement when we get on in the States. Here's one for $2.99, Mikey. Oh, wait a minute. That's pounds. £2.99.
It's like.
So that's $5.51. Yeah. So you can get them even cheaper. And I'm sure these are all from the same Taiwanese. This one is from Yatelun. This is made by Yatelun.
I ate dinner there the other night, actually, at Yatelun.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah. They make laptops and
they make a good egg foo young.
Fabulous egg foo young. Are you having trouble with your tots? And you need some friendly advice? Amber has found an online community where you can get tips from fellow mums and dads with similar parenting issues. That's coming up right after the break. Stay right here. Welcome back to Call for Help. Whether you want to know if your baby's sleeping patterns are normal or if this is normal, what you should do about your teenager breaking curfew, web forums are a great place to find out all about this. Amber's going to show us how to manage your munchkins.
Exactly.
This is not an announcement, by the way.
Oh, no. No. I'm feeling very hot all of a sudden. No, not an announcement.
Okay.
But the site we're going to talk about is called todaysparent.com, and Today's Parent is a print magazine that also has had an online forum for quite a few years now. They were actually one of the first companies in Canada to have a really big online forum for parents.
See, if Amber recommends this is good, because she is a stickler on good web production. I mean, she was telling me she goes through our site and goes, I gotta fix that.
Broken links.
I hate that. So this is good. If you give us your serial approval, it's going to be a good site.
So it is a really, really good site. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to talk about 3 features of the site and then go into the message boards.
Do you have nieces and nephews?
You know what? I don't have any nieces and nephews, but I have little cousins.
Cousins?
Yeah, so, yeah.
Let me switch over to here. Are you on 2?
Yep, on 2.
There we go.
So the first...
That's our sound man.
That's pretty good.
4 months old now.
He's getting older. So the first thing we're going to show is if you become a member of todaysparent.com, you're able to post pictures of your newborn in the photo center, which is kind of neat. Yeah, it's kind of cute.
Everybody likes baby pictures.
Yeah, baby pictures are really, really cute. So that's one feature it has, that you can share all your photos with any of the new friends that you've made. Also, now you can sign up for their newsletter, which is really great. And what it does, it actually gives you lunchtime menus for your kids for up to 10 weeks.
Oh, that's nice.
For any age?
For school-age kids. So,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, I'm going to subscribe to this.
Yeah,
my wife will kill me. I'll put it on the
I know.
Oh yeah, great.
Exactly.
I'll be doing that quiche for Thursday.
Yeah, I know. But it's kind of neat if you're really super busy. Like I know a lot
it's
of
hard to
moms are
plan
really
these
busy.
things.
Yeah, so if you print it off, they'll send it to you. You print it off, and then you can pre-plan all your lunches. You don't even have to think about
you buy it once at the grocery store. You get everything in the
Exactly. And then the third feature before we go into them.
on white bread. My recommendation.
My kids are going to be eating tofu.
Tofu, I know, won't they? Yeah, the little vegetarians.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the third feature before we go into the message boards is this cool calculator that you can go through and you can find out if you can actually afford to be a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad. So it will tell you how much money you have left at the end of the day. It's kind of sad, but
not enough, I can tell you right
it's
now.
kind of a neat feature.
Fascinating. Can you afford to stay at home?
I know. It's kind of sad, but at least in Canada, you have up to a year maternity leave.
That's
It's great.
Very important.
Exactly. So now we're going to go into the best part of the site, which is the forms. And it's very, very easy to sign up for the forms. You go in, you give them your email address, and pick a screen name. And this is something we're going to talk about later, but it's important to pick a screen name that maybe isn't your own name, just for privacy issues. And then you can sign up quickly and then go into all the different forms that they have.
If it's for your baby, you could call it a scream name.
Exactly. Or just help me.
Help me.
So the first place we're going to go is the virtual garage sale, because this is kind of neat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so literally there's tens of thousands of parents using this site, and they're going in and they're posting things that they no longer need because their kids are growing up, and you can check them out and buy some of
My wife
the
has
clothes.
an I break for garage sale bumper sticker.
That's great. That's really cool. So you can go in and you can check out, for instance, newborn and baby clothes for sale, and then she has the web address where you can go and take a look at them.
So it's kind of an exchange, or is it like an eBay? Or?
Yeah, you can't actually. What you have to do is get in touch with the person directly. So it's a little bit different,
I see.
but still, it's very, very helpful.
Well, parents have, they outgrow stuff.
They outgrow, exactly, and they need to sell it. So it's a good place to go to check that out. Also, there's forms like sleeping issues. So if your kids have chronic tiredness, or you don't know what to do about bedtimes. So
chronic tiredness.
Yeah, if the kid's really tired.
My whole life.
I know. I should read that. I know. So for instance, if you're a first-time parent, and you have a kid who's coming up on 7, 8-year-old, and you don't have anyone to talk to, maybe you live in the country and you need some advice, you can say, what time should my 7-year-old go to bed?
See, in the old days, we were, the mom and dad were around. There were
Grandma,
people around, grandma. That's what I mean. Yeah, everybody was there, and
Exactly.
you could ask them.
And now
we're all
you need
spread
help.
out.
So this is an awesome online community for parents, and you can meet fellow parents, and there are no dumb questions in this forum.
What is it? Today'sParent.com?
Today'sParent.com.
Very good.
Yeah.
And the link, of course, on our website.
Yep.
CallForHelpTV.
Definitely.
.com. And if you've got suggestions for Amber, you just want to write her a note.
Yeah, Amber at callforhelptv.com.
Don't go anywhere, folks. We got more of your calls on the way. But first, it's time to test your tech knowledge. Our quiz. What is our question of the day? What did PHP originally stand for? It's a very popular web language now, but what did it stand for when it first came out? Personal homepage, private hyperlink processor, page hopping program. Please help friends. Get to the website. Give us your answer. We'll talk about it when Call for Help continues. Welcome back to Call for Help. Just taking a look at my new book, by the way, in bookstores everywhere. In fact, I think I've got a book signing coming up pretty soon here in Toronto.
Correct.
Leo Laporte's 2005 Gadget Guide. The new TiVo book just came out, the new Almanac as well. So they all have pictures of me behind bars in the cover. So it's very easy to find. And available from all the better bookstores, Chapters and Indigo and like that.
Are you going to wrap that up and give me it as a gift for Christmas?
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what you and Amber are going to get, copies of my book. Isn't that nice?
That's great.
Yeah, but not everybody else, because I only get 5 author copies. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'll give you a copy, sure.
That's great.
This is my pick for the digital camera. I love this.
cool.
My Nikon D70.
D70, yeah.
What's kind of cool is this is very self-serving, but it is cool. We divide it into categories. Cell phones, cameras, camcorders, all that, and then I do a pick in each case. So this is GPS devices, and then there'll be the Leo's pick.
So it's
show it there. Yeah.
So it's all the coolest gadgets from the year, and then
It's the funnest book in the world to write. I just love doing it.
Yeah, gadgets are awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing Regis and Kelly in the next few weeks, and I'll be bringing a copy of that for them as well.
Great.
All right, but enough of that. I was just stalling. This seemed like a very long book plug, but I was actually just stalling because we had to get our caller ready, and I think do we have it now, Amber?
Yeah, we do. We have Yusuf from Ottawa on the netcam.
Now, you know your geography pretty well, Amber?
Yeah, pretty well.
If we had thumbtacks, I think we should put a pin on where would Ottawa be on that map?
It would be.
It's kind of hard.
Right about here.
There's no, yeah. We're gonna have to put some provinces on there.
Yeah, right there.
Right there. Very good. Nicely done. Right, there he is. I see him. Hi, Yusuf. Wow. Welcome to the show.
How are you doing, Neil?
Actually, I do see him. It's good to see you.
Great.
I've
been watching Call for Help since it first came to Canada about a year and a half ago, I guess.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it was Chris Perillo originally.
Yeah, that's right, when it first came here. But I had been doing the show for years before then, and Chris did it for a year, and then I came back, and now we're doing it up here, and I'm really happy to be doing it here.
Yeah, and I think you're actually a lot better than you were before.
I am, I agree.
You improved by the age, I guess.
Yes, I also improved with weight, I think. There's more of me.
Yeah.
No, you know what's improved, and I'm absolutely sincere, is Amber and Andy, and Monica, too. I mean, I love the people that we have here, and we have a great behind-the-camera staff, too. So.
Well, also, you guys do all this Linux and
yes.
stuff, too.
Well, that's the other thing, because this is the only production we do up here. I'm kind of incorporating stuff that I did from the Screensavers and Call for Help, kind of mushing it all into one great big show.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you like it. Thank you, Yusuf.
Speaking of Screensavers,
yes.
Remember just around the transition period between G4 and Tech TV, where you're doing these small little segments between, at the end of the show?
Right.
There was this one utility. I mean, I thought it was a really cool idea, and you had told us about it. It was a set of Unix utilities for Windows that you can run on a thumb drive.
Oh yes, okay. I know that. You want to know more about that?
Yeah, I tried looking for it on the Tech TV website, and I couldn't find any.
They never got it on the website. Yeah. There's actually two ways to run Unix utilities on Windows. This is called, the first one is Cygwin. I did a segment on this. I don't think, when you say thumb drive, I know it's not this one. This is kind of cool. Cygwin, by the way, is free. You install it on your Windows box, and then you can run a great many different Unix programs under it. So it gives you kind of a command line, and you can do all of the Unix programs you like. But you said the other one I showed was something called Unix Kit, and I think this is the one you wanted.
Something like that,
Yeah. Actually, Mikey's got it on it. Come here, Mikey. Mikey's got it on his thumb drive. Come here. Let me just hold on. This won't hurt a bit. Okay, I got this has the Unix Kit on it. It's actually fairly tiny. It's I think it's only about 50 megabytes, but it has a bunch of Unix utilities. Let me just get under here and stick this into my machine. And the one handy thing about this for geeks like Mikey is you carry this with you, and you've got a bunch of useful Unix utilities always available to you. So I'm going to open it up here, and it's called the Unix Kit. And all you have to do once you've got it, this is running off the thumb drive right now. You just run this sh.bat, and what it does is it runs bash for you. Now I'm running bash, and I have the bash shell. I have all the, many of the bash commands that I'd like, including Pico, which is the little editor that many people use under bash. I even have Vi. I mean, if you're Andy's excited. Andy's really excited. He says, "Oh, Vi." They don't have Perl on here, but it'd be easy enough to put Perl on here. Let me just quit out of Vi. Oh, I've got the caps lock on. Yeah. And LS, and you've got grep, you've got sed, you've got a lot of, in fact, there's a whole list here if you go to the website. Arc, Arg, Bash, Bunzip, Bzip, I mean, just chmod, less, Pico. You've got a grep on here.
Sweet.
It's sed is on here, as I mentioned. Actually, there's no awk, but there is sed, the stream editor.
Okay.
It is very, it's not everything. Now, what's neat about this is this guy didn't write any of these. These are all the traditional Unix utilities. He just recompiled them. And so it's very simple. In fact, he's planning on doing, he says, a Perl branch. Andy will like that will have active Perl installed on it. And a tiny Perl, which will be 20 megabytes, the whole thing.
Wow.
So it's actually, this is really kind of neat. Jade Blank is the guy who did it. I have a link on the webpage. to his site. It's jlbtwu.twu.net/code/UnixKit.php. It's kind of a long URL, but that's why it's hard to find.
Yeah, Google searching didn't help at one bit on this.
I like it when Google doesn't work. That means we found something truly obscure. I found this at one point. I don't even remember how I found it. Maybe somebody sent it to me in an email. Maybe it was just because I was searching around. But I like having. I'm one of those people that types when I get to the command line. I type ls instead of dir, and actually that works in XP. By the way, ls actually works.
Does it really?
Yeah, they knew that people would do that. But now you can do ls and all the other Unix style commands, and it's a full ls. So it's pretty amazing, and you can see, I even can see the file permissions here. Now I don't know. I would be careful messing with the file permissions in an XP box because you might mess things up. I don't know how.
Do the same file permissions work on Unix and XP?
Well, they have. I mean, look, we're seeing them right here. Read, write, read, write, read, write.
Read, write, execute is still fine.
Makes me a little nervous. I don't know. I'll tell you what, Yusuf. Why don't you experiment with it and get back to us?
I will. Yeah. Now that I know where to find it.
Yeah. I think you're gonna. It's funny. After I did that segment on the screensavers, I got a lot of email. There was clearly a lot of interest in this. It's a neat idea. It's the kind of thing you could put on a thumb drive with your other utilities and carry around with you, and it's nice to have, when you need to help somebody with their system. Okay?
Great.
And you could actually, obviously, put more on here. It's only 6 megabytes. Tiny thing. Yusuf, it's great to talk to you. Keep watching. I'm so glad you're here.
Thanks.
All right, and we're going to get some thumbtacks and put a little thumbtack in Ottawa.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Coming up after the commercial break, Andy is getting all tweaked out with Windows. He's going to show us how to speed up, improve, enhance, make Windows more reliable. When we come back, stay right here. Nothing would go wrong. Amazing. Welcome back to Call for Help. Faster, stronger, better, sweeter, harder, hotter. We all love discovering new and improved ways to speed up performance. And he's ready to take us to a place where XP runs just a little smoother. Some sweet tips for us today.
Yeah, we talk a lot about different bits and pieces of Windows XP. I thought, let's bring it all together. Let's look at some optimization tricks.
God knows we could use them. I mean, a lot of the questions we get are Windows starts slow, Windows shuts down slow, Windows runs slow. What's wrong with my Windows? One of the things that seems to happen is it gets slower over time, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's designed that way.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it says it's a slow algorithm. It says it gets slower every month.
That way you'll want the new version when it comes out, but it's going to be a couple more years, so maybe we can speed it up. So why does it get slower the more I use it? What's going on there?
Well, what's happening is the registry, which is like a file folder, not a file folder, it's like a filing cabinet, keeps track of everything in Windows, gets chock full of stuff.
We keep putting more stuff on there. More stuff starts up when the system starts up, things like that.
And let's start with that. Let's start with when you boot up, how to clean that out so that it kicks in a lot faster.
Yeah, we don't want all these things running at once. That's just going to slow your system.
There's a secret administrator tool called msconfig. Woo! Let's go. Start.
Click the start button.
And we're going to go run.
The run button. Okay. Can we get a shot of this? Wait before you don't go too fast. There we go. Start run. And now we're going to type something in there, yeah?
Yeah. msconfig. Obscure? I don't know.
MSCONFIG.
Okay, we click OK.
That stands for the Microsoft System Configuration Tool. Oh, they just missed it, too.
Did they?
There it is, and we got it running right up there.
Now, I wish they had actually put this somewhere in the system tools, in the menu. But
they did in '98.
Did they?
Yeah. It was in the, you would run go to Accessories, System Tools, and they had the Microsoft, toolkit, and it was in there.
Right.
But it's not there anymore.
It's hidden.
They don't want you to use it.
No, that's right.
It's better than ever. That's the funny thing. This is more useful.
There's lots of tabs here. You can see all kinds of tabs here. And really what you want to be focusing on to optimize Windows is, especially the startup, is services and startup. Very obvious. We'll start with startup. Now, you're going to see a lot of really obscure things in here.
That's the problem.
And that's the big problem.
It is, yeah.
But one of the tips you can do is you go to the command area and you drag this open. You can kind of get a hint of sort of what each one of these things does.
Yeah, at least from where it starts. It'll tell you something, yeah.
So each one of these are programs that start when Windows starts up.
Yeah.
And you know what? A lot of them don't have to be there. So, a classic example, Picasa Media Director. I mean, this is Picasa. It was a Google tool that I installed a long time ago, and it's still sitting there. It's slowing up my startup system.
And you don't need it to run the program. That's the irony of it. It's really, they put it, you see it in the system tray, it's there, but it's just really more of an ad. You don't need it. They say it starts the program more quickly, but it doesn't.
No.
So turn it off.
Turn it off. So you're going to unclick it.
There are a lot of things like that.
And you're going to go through it. You can pretty much turn off all kinds of stuff in here, and it's not going to adversely affect the boot process. It may, a program may work funny. You can go back later and turn it back on if necessary.
You could uncheck everything, and it should still boot just fine. It's just some things may not work right.
Right, and especially if you're one of these people that has tons of stuff in your system tray down in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, this is a great way.
GRO. Get rid of.
Get rid of. Services, another good thing. You want to click on your hide all Microsoft services here, because there's some critical Microsoft services that do need to run in this.
Yeah, this is the one where you could get in trouble. Some of these things you shouldn't turn off.
So be very, very careful. Like I turned off the Office thing the other day, and it kind of hacked my Office. But anyway, never mind. Let's move on, though, real quick. Get out of MS config. Yep. I really want to go to disk cleanup, because it's one of the things where you can clean up your system very quickly. You're going to go to all programs. You're going to go to accessories. You're going to go to system tools, and you're going to go to disk cleanup.
Disk cleanup.
One-stop shop to clean out your system of all kinds of.
So you selected the C drive there.
Extreme, yes.
And now it's running. So what it does is it looks at what's in the trash. It looks at temporary files. It looks at unused or lesser used files.
Yes.
It eliminates the stuff in the trash, cleans out the temporary files, and then says, would you like to compress the files you're not using a lot?
That's right. You can archive them. I don't like to do that a whole lot because there's enough stuff to get rid of in there that you can generally recover 10, 20, 50, 100 megs of stuff.
Look at this. Oh, I found the Office setup files. There's a good example of stuff that can be really... And you have 137 megs in your recycle bin.
Yeah.
20 megs of temporary files.
Right.
These are things you just don't need. 319 megs of... if you compress the old files, but you have to compress them.
That's right. So it's a great place to get rid of stuff real quick on your hard drive.
Just clean up. We have time for one more.
One more. This one's overrated, but I'm going to show it to you anyway because it's overrated. And this is Disk Defrag. This is a sorter program that. Hang on, let's go to System Tools.
There it is up above. Folder 4.
Thank you.
5.
And we're going to go to Disk Defrag. So this will basically reorganize your hard drive. People, when they have a problem, they tend to go and defrag their hard drive. You know what? That's not the solution. Okay. Do it once a month.
Yeah.
Only do it once a month. Yeah. You're basically going to resort the files in your system to make them easily accessible. They start faster.
And then the last tip, which we'll leave for the website, run Windows Update on a regular basis. Very
Absolutely.
important. Yeah.
New drivers, make sure you get the latest security patches, that sort of thing.
That'll be on the website if you want to know more. Callforhelptv.com. I thank you very much, Andy. Some great tips on speeding up your system. Should we take another call right now?
Yep.
You got somebody for me, Amber?
Yeah, we do. We have Stuart from Welland, Ontario on the line.
Let me take a walk over here and say hi to Stuart. Stuart, welcome to the show. Leo Laporte here.
Hi, Leo.
How are you?
Good. Yourself?
I'm very well. It's good to have you on the show.
Great to be there.
Well, what can I do for you today?
Okay, when I play a DVD in regular mode, it plays great. But when I switch it to progressive scan, the picture goes so dark, it's almost invisible. You can't see the picture at all. It's so dark.
Really? Well, let's talk a little bit about what progressive scan is so people understand what you're talking about. Do you have a nice HD TV? Is that why you...
Yes.
Yeah. If you have a good TV, either an enhanced definition or high definition TV, that means you can get more lines of resolution on here. It's going to be a crisper display. And one of the things that you can do that's great is you can change the way the gun draws the screen. On a normal television set, it draws it interlaced, which is a way of kind of saving bandwidth in effect. It only draws every other line as the electron gun goes down, comes back to the top, then draws the other line. So it does the even lines, comes back, draws the odd lines. It's called interlaced. And it does that, of course, very fast so you don't see it, but it does make the picture a little bit fuzzier. On a high-quality monitor, like a computer monitor, which is where most of us first saw our progressive displays, and now on high-quality televisions, it doesn't have to do that. It can draw every line each pass, which means you get a much crisper, more solid display. That's called progressive scan. Now, a DVD is designed to work on all televisions, so, of course, they have to output interlaced signals. But if you have a higher quality signal on a higher quality DVD, you can say, no, I want you to send out one line each line, each screen with every line each time. I want you to do a progressive scan. And by doing so, you really improve the picture. In fact, if you want to get that DVD to look as much as like a movie as possible, turning on progressive scan and 3:2 pull down will give you the best, most movie-like image if your television can support it. Now, there's one thing you might be doing wrong. How are you connecting your progressive scan DVD player to your television?
It's via component video.
Okay. That could be the issue. You don't use the same component connectors for interlaced and progressive.
Okay.
Weirdly enough. Normally you will use the YCB CR connectors, which is that's the standard component connectors. On a progressive scan output, you're supposed to use YPB PR. I know this sounds weird. Look on the back. Make sure you're using the right connectors, because that's exactly what you would get. You would get a very low luminance. So make sure you're using the right connectors from your DVD player to your TV. You might also want to make sure that that you're not doing anything on the DVD player that your TV can't handle. Make sure your TV is supporting progressive scan. If you're using 3:2 pull down, make sure it supports 3:2 pull down, that kind of thing.
Okay.
It sounds like, to me, a mismatch between the DVD player and the TV. And most often, the only thing you can change is make sure that the connectors are correct.
That sounds like that might be the answer.
It might be, yeah. It's a weird thing. You have to use different connectors for progressive.
Yep.
But I'll tell you, you get a much better picture, and it should be the same luminance.
Yeah, I mean, if I turn up the brightness to full, I can see the picture.
Sure, but then you go back to regular TV, and it's like, whoa!
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's like a solar blind.
They should be the same. They should be the same brightness both ways.
Sounds great.
Hey, Stuart, I thank you so much for the call.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thanks for watching too.
No problem.
Yeah.
Bye now.
If you're going to go to a high definition television, you should absolutely get a progressive scan DVD player, and the new chips in some of the TVs will also do that. It's called de-interlacing. And they will really give you a much crisper picture, better for motion, things like that.
Got to wonder if he used an S-video connector for
He
the
said,
picture.
well, that's why I asked him. The first thing I asked him, and he said he's using component. Component is going to, the ways that you connect a tuner or a DVD player to a television, there are several. Ranging from the worst quality to the best quality. The worst quality, of course, is that RF connector, which is coax. That's going to be absolutely the worst. You get all the signal jammed down one pipe there. Yeah. The next best is where you separate out the video, and you have those yellow cable where you have it's called a composite output, and you'll have audio left and right channel, red and white, and you'll have a yellow composite. That's not the greatest. S-video is better. It doesn't carry audio, but it's going to give you a better quality. Component is much better. That's where you're breaking it out into the red, green, and blue in effect, separating it out, except it's not red, green, and blue. What is it? Cyan, magenta. I can never remember what the YPB and PR stand for. And then the best would, of course, be DV, which is pure digital out of the, and that's for digital displays like a plasma or an LCD or a DLP. Pure digital from the DVD player into the TV, then you have no degradation at all. And that's really ideal. If you're looking for a big screen TV, look for one that has either a DVI or HDMI, which is the new DVI, a digital input, because that's where everything's going anyway. And one of the reasons, by the way, it's going there not only for better picture quality, copy protection. Movie companies want you to use digital because they can keep you from copying their movies if you do. All right, we're going to take a break, but before we go, one more chance to take our daily quiz. When you take that quiz, by the way, you have a chance to enter our contest, win yourself a nice Call for Help t-shirt, nice prizes we're giving away.
Prizes.
Here's the quiz question of the day. What did PHP stand for when it first came out? A very popular language on the web nowadays. I use it all the time. Personal home page, private hyperlink processor, page hopping program. Please help print. We'll be back with the answer in just a bit. Stay right here.
I have to go to the bathroom.
I look like 12.
Welcome back. Before the break, we asked you what PHP originally stood for. It's a programming language used very commonly on the web, and Mikey tells me personal homepage is what it stands for. Personal homepage. Now, Mikey, is it still, people still say that that's what PHP refers to? Now, what do they say PHP stands for?
It's
something processor,
Hypertext processor,
page portal processor. Something silly.
Yeah.
It's personal homepage.
That's what we're just starting off as.
Yeah. Thank you, Mikey. Mikey does our quizzes, so that's why I ask him. He's the quiz master here on the show.
Yep.
Now, Amber has found our free file of the day today, a great utility that creates thumbnails easily.
Very easily.
You just drag and drop.
Yep.
Let's see what they do.
It's great. The program's called Easy Thumbnails.
First of all, why would you want to create a thumbnail?
One of the reasons you want to create a thumbnail, if you have a website and you want to upload a bunch of images and you don't want to upload the full image, you might want just little thumbnails so people can just take a quick look, like at a gallery or something like that.
So a thumbnail is a smaller version
It's
of
a
the full
smaller
size.
version, yeah, and there's no necessarily a standard size for a thumbnail. You can kind of make it as big as you want, but usually it refers to something that's quite small.
The way I do it, because I figure these are massive files,
yeah.
I'll put a thumbnail, and if you click it, then you can see the full file.
That's a good way to do it,
So it gives people a look at it, a preview, and then if they want it, they can click
Exactly, so then it doesn't take the pages so long to load with the smaller images.
So this is going to do it all for us for free.
Yeah, and it's really fun, actually. I've been a little bit obsessed with this program. But it's called Easy Thumbnails, and I have a picture here for you, Mikey and Andy, Avril Living.
All Avril fans.
Avril fans. And what you do is it's pretty quick. You go to the settings and you choose what size thumbnail you want to make. We're going to choose
What would you recommend?
I think that
for a web page.
150 by 150 is pretty good. It's a small size.
Big enough to see, but small enough to
Exactly. We'll actually be able to preview it and take a look at what that looks like. And then you can go in and you can adjust
what are all these
your
other things?
Yeah, you know what? Don't even mess around with them if you're just starting and you want a straight up thumbnail. We'll go into the
defaults are fine.
Yeah, the defaults are fine. And so all you do is it's really easy. You click make and one thumbnail is created. And then you go back to your files and then you check here and there you go.
If you could pull back a little bit there, we can see the full there. So that's the thumbnail for the large size.
That's the thumbnail for the large size. So that's 150 by 150. And then you have this neat little function here where you can see what it would look like on a web page. It's called Show in Browser.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so you can take a look. So, because sometimes within the program it looks different than it does actually in a browser. So you can take a look at it like that. We're also going to go back and we're going to play a little bit around with some of those brightness, contrast, and those
Will
things.
it do a whole bunch of them at once?
It will, actually. Yeah, let's do that at the end. Kind of fun. We'll make them all at the end.
Okay. So let's play with our settings.
Okay, let's play with the settings a little bit. I'm going to go in here to a Ben Harper picture because he's one of my favorite singers.
Cool.
And we'll go into the settings. And, you can kind of play around with this, and if you want to adjust the brightness, make it brighter, give it more contrast, and
all of these we're pretty familiar with.
They're pretty familiar with. And the thing is, if you don't know any of them, you don't know what you're doing, just play around with it. And you want to rotate it a little bit. And the best thing about Easy Thumbnails is you're able to preview the output before you do it. So you can take a look at that.
I like the rotation.
I know,
That's
it's
fun.
cool. It's kind of like a funky effect that you could do if you don't want a straight up thumbnail. That's really basic.
Can you do drop shadows, or is it?
No, you can't do drop shadows.
Because I like sometimes I put a little drop shadow.
Yeah, that's cool, but you can do this. And
it's a lot of work in Photoshop, though. I have to do every one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, you can literally do this in seconds. And then you can click make, and that will make the thumbnail. And then you can go back to your files, and you can take a look at it. And yeah, it looks kind of funky.
Rotated it upside down.
Yeah, we rotated it a little bit. But then you can preview it in the browser again to see what it looks like.
So how do I do a whole bunch of them?
Okay, so what we're going to do now, this is actually the most fun part, is we're going to go in to look at all of our files and then just click this button, make all.
Okay, that's down at the bottom.
Yep, and remember, it's going to make them with the previous settings.
You don't have to go find it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Cameraman's looking for the button.
Okay.
Does it all.
There you go. Yeah, so we've just made all these little thumbnails, which are a little bit hard to see here because we kept it on those settings where it actually made it smaller and had all this contrast and adjusted them. But it's a great little program. It's so easy to use. I figured it out within probably 5-10 minutes.
And it's free.
And it's free.
I love it.
No spyware, no adware. It's a great little program.
Easy Thumbnails, our free file of the day. We got a list now. We finally got it.
Yeah.
All the free files in one spot. You go there, you can see them all.
Yep.
Callforhelptv.com.
Callforhelptv.com.
And send your suggestions to Amber. Oh,
That'd
they're
be great.
beaming in our next guest. With our next guest's invention, not only can you record the upcoming Lynyrd Skynyrd concert live at 3 a.m., but your computer will split it and label it into individual MP3 tracks for you while you sleep. If you're an XM user, you're going to be interested in this, and we'll show you how he wrote the software too in Visual Basic. Stick around. Hey, it's good to see you. Scott's here.
Nice to meet you.
Our guest in the studio today is a Canadian computer consultant who wanted to get the most out of his XM satellite radio subscription, so he wrote a program that lets him record the music coming out of it as MP3s. XM didn't like that so much. In fact, following the release of his Time Track software, Scott McLean has faced criticism from copyright critics as well as applaud from music fans. Scott, it's so good to have you on the show.
Thank you, Leo.
Welcome. Finally, to get to meet you. Now, this little doohickey is a PCR device for XM. And they sold these for $49 US. Not anymore.
At one time, it got down to about $14.
Really?
Yeah.
This would allow you to hook your computer up so you could receive XM satellite.
Basically plugged in your computer, and you could tune any. It's a satellite tuner. It runs off your computer.
And you wrote software that interfaced with it.
Right.
And allowed people to record the music off of it.
There's quite a few people that actually did write software for it.
Wasn't that hard to do?
No.
Yeah. XM, of course, pulled the device immediately. If you could buy this now, and you can't from XM, but if you buy it on eBay, it could cost you as much as $400. This would be, what, $700?
That's a $700 one there.
Because it has a digital, somebody's hacked this to put a little digital output on it.
Right.
Yeah. How hard is that to do, to put the digital output on this thing?
Not very hard.
This little toss link. So now you're getting the MP3's pure digital quality from the satellite. Well, let me see this time track software. You still sell this software, right?
Absolutely do.
Do you have to have a PCR to use it?
Not anymore.
Because you make this thing.
That's right. We have this new little box here that lets you plug into another of their radios. That's their XM Direct. That's actually...
so if you have XM Direct, you plug that into that side.
Right. It's meant for a car radio, but this lets you run it off your computer.
This has USB now. Isn't that going to be a digital audio?
The audio is still analog because the XM Direct has 2 RCA connectors on it.
Got it.
So this is used to control the
This controls it, but you take the audio from the analog.
Right.
See, now that's the thing that I think that makes XM scared and makes the music industry scared, is this digital copying of the music. If it's as long as analog, it's no different than taping off the radio.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, you wrote the software as a personal project for yourself?
I wrote it for myself, basically, because there was a concert on, and I think it was Blondie.
Hey, no, that's
a falsetto. Just
not going to work.
Not happening. But it was on at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I wanted to hear it. It was a new live concert, so I thought, well, I'll just write something that'll just kick off and record at 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's the great thing about it being a computer programmer. You can say something like that. Did you actually get the program written in time to get the...
I did, actually, yeah.
Wow.
So
now, you wrote it in Visual Basic.
I did.
Now, normally in your work, you'll use Java or other languages as well.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you choose Microsoft's Visual Basic?
Because I needed to do it quickly.
You could prototype something really quick?
That's right.
Yeah. This is the program. Let's take a look, actually, at Time Tracks, and then I want to look a little bit about how you wrote it, because I think that's kind of interesting.
That's, of course, I can't run it in here because we have no satellite signal. So these are some images I took last night. That's the main screen of it right there, and it basically lets you hit record and stop. Basically, just like a tape recorder.
You choose the channel. In fact, you have your favorites as buttons.
You can get your favorites down here.
Yeah.
You can see several screens here. It lets you see what's playing on every single channel at once.
Oh, that's neat. That all is given to you, text is given to you from XM. They feed that down.
It's right off the satellite. And then I had some blind users that wanted to, or visually impaired users that wanted to, or people that want to see it across their room. People are incorporating this into their stereos.
Yeah.
So they have this so they can do it across the room. And a rather busy screen that lets you schedule what you're going to record at what time.
Mm-hmm. This is like the VCR
exactly
part.
Like a VCR. Yeah. And then you can also set it up so that if there's some... over here, I like Annie Lennox, and I like a song called Summertime.
So you're actually looking for that.
Or if I don't want to have any Barry Manilow,
no Copacabana.
It will never record it.
His name was Lola. All right, so Annie and I will not start singing Copacabana in deference to Scott's preferences. Maybe a little later in the show.
Okay.
Show us how you wrote this, because I'm very interested. This Visual Basic is... Well, it's not really basic anymore. It's much more powerful than just a plain old basic.
It's extremely powerful. You can basically cause it to do anything you want to do in Windows.
Yeah.
Anything within reason. There's some complex things with threading and so on that you can't do in Visual Basic.
But pretty much anything. In fact, a lot of banks and a lot of companies now use VB to develop software.
Absolutely.
It's so quick.
That's right, and it's fairly easy to debug as well.
You're in the beginning stages of a project here.
This is just a blank form. It's just a window that we're going to create.
Okay.
And because it's an event-driven language, that means you draw the form first, and then you write code behind it.
So we're actually draw the user interface.
That's right. So I want to have a button over here. Leo. There's our Leo button.
It doesn't do anything yet because we haven't put any programming behind it.
That's right.
We're actually designing the user interface.
That's right. So if I double-click that button, it's going to bring up the code.
Oh.
And so now I can say, I can type in a message box. This is...
Well, it even tells you kind of the syntax that you
Yes, exactly. So I know exactly what's going to happen. Right. And I'll say VB OK only. There we go. There's our program.
Wow.
So if I run that,
You're actually running the program.
I'm running the program now.
And when you click Leo?
Click Leo, and you
get the message box. This is a message. That's pretty cool.
That's it. That's the program.
And that actually could be distributed to people, and not that anybody would download that, but that's how it works.
I can compile that into an EXE, and it includes an installer, and we're done.
So you were able to, in just a matter of hours, create a simple program that would be able to read this. Was it hard to figure out how to read what was coming out of the PCR?
Yeah, there's a project online of people that have sort of reverse engineered the protocol to try and figure out exactly what's happening on this radio, how it's communicating back and forth.
Because XM doesn't publish that. They don't want people to know that. However, people have figured it out. That's called reverse engineering, where you kind of look at something and you try to work your way backwards to what it should look like. So they've done a pretty good job. I mean, you can see everything?
It's pretty well documented. There's still a few commands in there that are going on that nobody seems to know why they're there, and they don't seem to actually do anything, but you know, the XM software runs it, and it runs fine without them. So,
did you have to write any libraries, or did VB have everything you needed to be able to talk to this?
I use the Microsoft Serial library so that we can connect, because this USB port actually appears as a serial port within the computer.
So that's where the data is coming in.
Right.
So you could use the library to talk to it, to read it.
Right. And then, but I didn't want to have messy code to decode the protocol within my program, so I actually wrote a little object that basically I can call it. One command says power on, another command is turn to channel 44.
That's one of the neat things about VB. It's object-oriented, so you could write an object that understood. It was kind of like a black box that understood how this works. And did you distribute that OCX?
Yeah, I did.
So people can now download it, and all they have to know is turn on, turn off, what your commands are. They don't have to know the guts of this at all.
So if they have VB or any other program that works with ActiveX objects, they can instantiate the object I wrote and basically write a program that'll work that radio in about 4 lines of code.
That's pretty neat. Or you wish it had that, but for the Blondie concert. If you want Time Tracks, you can get it online. The new site is timetracks.com, yes?
Timetrackstech.com.
timetrackstech.com. And they now are selling, how much is the little adapter box?
$49.95. I'm going to get in trouble if I get that wrong.
Same price the PCR was. That's Canadian?
U.S.
U.S., okay. And of course, the software is how much?
Another $30 on top of that.
Right. But if you're an XM user, that's a great way to get your XM, and you still get the MP3s, and you can listen to them.
Yep, you'll leave that running overnight, and you'll end up with a couple hundred MP3s on your laptop or your computer in the morning.
No wonder they pulled this off the market. Thank you, Scott. It's really neat to see how you can get an idea and quickly make it work and then refine it so that it's an actual product. This is your full-time business now.
This is now my full-time business, my full-time job.
That's really neat. Scott McLean, timetrackstech.com. When we come back, I'm going to tell you how you can get in touch with us so you can be on a future show and a whole lot more. We'll wrap this thing up right after this. Stay right here. That's so cool. And
Moose?
We gotta put the moose up.
Mike, get the moose.
Next, we'll do that next show. Welcome back to Call for. Well, no, get the moose now. That's okay. You have it? Is it printed out over there?
Yeah.
We're starting to get pictures. If you want to send pictures, we're going to put them up back behind me. If you want to get, if you want to start sending us pictures for our Board of Shame.
Board of Shame.
Who is this from? Do you know?
It's Wayne from Port aux Basques, Newfoundland.
Wayne and a friend.
And his new friend.
He's having a beer with him.
Maybe an old friend.
Yeah, former friend. Thank you, Wayne, for sending that in. Please send them along. Send them to Leo at callforhelptv.com or Amber or Andy at callforhelptv.com. And I also want to thank Steve Huntress, our friend from Down Under, Tacky from Australia. Yeah. He did this great illustration of us. He did one of you, Andy, and me, and Monica, and now he's updated it. It's got Amber in it. And notice she's wearing 7 jeans, by the way.
Yeah, there's a little 7 on the cuff.
That is so cute.
It's so cute.
If you want to be on the show, go to the website, callforhelptv.com, and fill out that form. We'd love to hear from you, but no phone number, no call. We got to know how to get a hold of you, for crying out loud. Thanks for joining us. We do appreciate it. Remember, if you've got a problem with your personal confuser, don't shoot it. Don't whine, don't moan, don't yell. Just call for help.
Call for help.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Well, it's always nice to hear suggestions. Thanks for calling.